Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 16th going to the 22nd of January. So let's have a little look together and see what's going on for you guys. That is way too many. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's see. First, Sagittarius, please. You guys could have brought a new hat. Okay. First, Sagittarius, please. Oh, some very big things to do with your intuition is coming through. Yeah, allow it to guide you. There is something coming through here, and I did try to start your reading, and the computer completely malfunctioned whilst I was doing it, so I had to stop and do it again, and you'd be very surprised some of the cards repeated itself, so we already have one of them coming through. So a very big message already in your reading has a lot to do with your intuition, and for those who are dealing with a relationship, this particular message has something to do with a past person, something that you feel deep down is, you need to walk away from, or have already walked away from, and intuitively you know that it's best that this happened, even though it's pain, even though your heart's involved. It was to do with holding on to something that we've given a lot of meaning, and there you go, some email confirmation coming through here. I love that sound. It's like always confirmation for me. But it's like they were holding on so tightly to something and giving it so much meaning. But if we just let it go, we realize that we're actually okay with it without it having that much meaning. Or if you put someone up on a pedestal, if you put a relationship or a situation up on a pedestal, and it goes wrong, then of course we feel like our identity is shifted. Our whole life, has changed. So there's a few things I want to say about this. I see a lot of you are kind of creating an independent relationship with yourself, and I think this is very important to do anyways, whether it's love that you're, dealing with at this time, or whether it's just, I think it's always good to have, because the Four of Pentacles came up in the reading I just tried to do for you, and a message that I'm getting is like, when you are holding on so tightly to the things that you get from life, and it's good to be appreciative of things, it's good to hold meaning and significance of things, but one thing that can be a challenge when we do this so much is that when things do get taken away from us, which it happens, life is a flow. Things come in, things come out. People come in, people come out. Money comes in, money comes out. It's an abundant flow. But if we're constantly like, oh, no, I need to keep this because I lost things once upon a time, or someone left me, or we're holding on to it because you're still dealing with most likely an after effect of traumas in your life, of things were taken from you. You may have had a big loss in your life, financially or, emotionally, or you've been through betrayal. Like when we start like holding in and doing this, we're closing ourselves off to some amazing things that can come through. And we're also going to take it very personally when something is then taken from us. So I think Spirit is trying to get you to understand that you are whole without these things. This is very much to do with physical things. Your home, your finances and your financial status, your job even, the connections that you have with people. All of these are important for our human life. We're born humans for a reason and not just souls. There's a whole meaning behind why we have these things. But it's like you're learning to have an understanding of who you are as a soul being, outside of this human experience as well. So maybe you were very indulged in like the things around you. I'm getting hermit vibes coming through for you at this time. Like I think you're really doing some soul searching. I think you're really trying to understand and look at the difficulties that you've been through, and how they might have still got an effect on you no matter how long ago they happened. And I see this being good for you to really analyze this, to see it from a place of wisdom rather than a place of pain and it repeating itself. When you repeat memories in your head and it's like your body's reacting in the same way as if it actually happened, because it doesn't know the difference between a memory and a thought and what's actually going on, especially when emotions are involved. And that's somehow how manifestation works, which we'll get into another time. But this specifically has something to do with those things. So try not to hold on too tightly to things. When you're in a place of like an abundant flow and you understand that things, you're okay with, spending something on certain things even though you don't have a lot, because you know that you're going to get money elsewhere. Like if you're in this abundant flow of understanding that flow and understanding of that flow, what happens is you're opening yourself up to more things. So this closed off energy is trying to budge open. So you may feel like you've been through some recent losses because spirit's like, look, just let go of this, let go of it, all right? And things are going to come to you, but you need to stop being so closed off and things like this. It's a comfort zone. It's a coping mechanism for a lot of you, depending on where this is in your life, of course, because it is just a general reading, but that is a general feeling that I'm getting is that. So anyways, let me carry on pulling the cards out and we'll speak about it. So that was kind of the past reading I just did. I pulled a few cards out. Didn't get the chance to speak about it, but I'm glad I did now. But let's see, your current energy for the week, please. Yeah, like it's gonna be a really amazing week for you, which is great because I've only just saw the overall card for you in the bottom of the deck of the oracle cards, and it's happy, so it's good. You're gonna find yourself being very connected. As you can see, the rainbow here going up to the divine is the divine rainbow. It's like the connection to the spirit world. So your intuition is pumping at this time, whatever they mean by that. Maybe you're pumping in messages, like maybe you're having a lot of communication between you and spirit, you and your higher self, you and the universe. When you're in this lovely flow, not only you're going to feel very like appreciative of where you are, you're also going to feel what's coming in, and I do see that this is what it is. When we have the happy card and we have this egg coming through, the egg is like something is being brought into this world. So it could definitely be to do with manifestations, definitely is to do with new beginnings. But as you can see, she's happy without it even being hatched yet. She's happy knowing that it's coming in. It's just a matter of time. And that's how manifestation works. So when we attach, instead of looking at the past and thinking about the past, it's good to analyze it. It's good to understand how it might still be affecting you, but don't live in that is really important. In whatever way, finances, love, however this is resonating, apply it as it is. It's okay to do that, completely fine, and in fact very important to look at those things. But if we're feeling those emotions, then that's the place that spirit's believing that you are in. You're in that old position again. So then it's going to react that way, and you're going to start seeing that unfolding around you. But if we attach those emotions to what it would be like if we had the things that we want, to be in that flow already, to have that money coming through, to have that stability, to have that home, to have that loving relationship, to be at this position in life, and you attach those feelings to it, then you're practically doing what you are doing, but you're doing it to better things, the things that you want and desire, and that's how the world starts to adapt around you because of that, okay? And also, you'll start to feel happier within yourself here because you're more trusting in yourself. You're out of that survival mode, which is also really good, and I'm getting like a feeling of safety coming through, which is nice. And again, I feel like the world around you is going to actually reflect that feeling and give you the things that are going to provide that safety if you don't have it already, and provide that love, provide that financial support if you don't have that already. So expect big things to come through for you. This has a lot to do with your internal thoughts. You have deep knowing and higher power, so it is time to accept something. I'm feeling like it's time to do it now. When we have the moon in the back and the Mars energy at front, I don't know if that's what it is, but it's always how I read it just because of the colors of it, of course. We have this like inner knowing that we've had for a while, okay? But the owl is now sitting on Mars, which is a planet of action, is a fiery planet. It is you. You're a fiery sign. So Mars coming through here is just like, it's now taking action on it. It's now allowing this to fuel you. And the higher powers, you are now connecting to your third eye. So being able to see things. All right. So again, you could start to see things around you. It could be like spiritual activity. It could just be like visualizing your future. And then allow yourself to be led there. This is saying there are going to be people coming into your life who are here to help you, who are here to guide you, who are here to support you in some way. And if it's not physical people around you, which for some of you it will be, for the majority of you and for all of you, this is spirit saying, confide in me. Allow yourself to come on my back as this little baby cub and allow me to guide you because I know where you need to go now. They've always known, but we've been stuck in this, I need to do it myself. I don't want to make a move. I'm too scared. I want to hold on to what I have. I don't have a lot. Like if I let go of this, then I have nothing. You're a lot more than your financial status. You are a lot more than the love or lack of love that you have around you. You are a lot more than the way that people have treated you. And the cards that come through, you are a lot more. The Empress is that flow that we described as that divine feminine energy, is that flow. It's a very powerful energy to be in divine feminine because it's an attractive energy, not just in terms of people, but in terms of opportunities. It's an attractive energy. So it's a magnet. So you're becoming a magnet. You always have been a magnet, but you've kind of been facing a magnet the wrong way. Or like, you know, when magnets doing the opposite way, this is so interesting. They're describing you and the universe as a bit of a magnet, but you know when it's the wrong way. Don't know which way. I'm gonna just be very honest and say I'm not very intelligent with this, but all I know, what I remember is that when it's like, when it's the wrong way around, what happens is it's repelling it. It's actually a blockage between the two. But when you switch it back around again, so you're switching something here, whether it's energies or whatnot, it instantly sticks very strongly. You're becoming that magnet. You're doing something different. You're changing something. The energy you're putting out there is now very different. So now you're no longer repelling. You're just sticking. Things are sticking to you. Good things are sticking to you. The things that the universe wanted to, I'm seeing it like a plug now. So now you're becoming in that flow. Now that flow is accessible because it wasn't before. There was something blocking the way. There was resistance there. The current energy is also the Eight of Swords, which is what we've been speaking about, which is that inner dialogue that we've been having, that I'm stuck, this is how I'm always going to be, it's always how I always have been, like I can't move from the situation, this is how it is, this is the end, you know. It's like it does speak about literal challenges. It's not just in your head. I'm just going to make that very clear, and I don't like when people say that with this. The Eight of Swords is, there are swords around you. There have been some things and some challenges that have been a little bit crap, or a lot a bit crap, depending on your situation. It's not very nice. These are things that have happened to you. But the blindfold and the self-dialogue that you're stuck and forever will be this way is the problem. Or is the delusional, the illusion that's being fed to you, or that you've been conditioned to have. Or again, if you've been stuck before and have been very like trapped in a situation, this could step back to childhood and actually didn't have a way of going around it, then this is probably what you're in now. So anyway, it could be a lot of things. It can go very deep. But the Eight of Swords is just saying, if we take that blindfold off and we get out of our head and we stop resisting something, what we will see is, okay, these are problems. I already am aware of those. But I can now actually see solutions around me. I'm now able to do it. So Spirit's just like open your eyes a little bit, or again, allow yourself to be guided. You don't need to know all the answers. The answers can just come to you. Completely possible, and completely what's going to be happening here is you're becoming now a magnet. Maybe you thought that you needed to do everything by yourself. Maybe you were in that divine masculine energy of like leadership and, it's very like strong and I am, and, kind of getting a very independent survival streak that you've had and always may have had. The difference is you're now, okay, all right, universe, show me then. Show me how this can get better. Show me how good it gets. That's a really good affirmation to have, by the way. Show me how good it can get. And I'm seeing it coming in. They're guiding you somewhere, so there might actually be some like actual movement happening in your life, but this could be spiritually. There is going to be some movement. They're guiding you somewhere. Don't resist this. Try and find this way of solutions. Okay. Anyways, what the blockages for the week? I think we already kind of know. Oh, the Queen of Wands in reverse. Yeah, it's a lack of confidence. Very interesting coming through. It's a lack of ambition. You haven't had a lot of drive. You haven't had a lot of, or it's like a lack of belief that you have these amazing qualities. Maybe you don't feel lovable. Maybe you don't feel beautiful. Maybe you don't feel like you attract a lot of energy or attract a lot of love, or, there's something here coming through. Is usually the Queen of Wands is happy, she's kind, she's comforting, she's nurturing. Maybe you haven't had those energies for a little while because you didn't believe that you needed those or that you had those. Or maybe the things around you have hardened your heart. That happens a lot. All right, but she's a very beautiful and attractive energy. Okay. And you are this, Sagittarius. You are a fire sign. This is your card. But it's reversed here. So the blockage is a lack of confidence in yourself or in your life to look a certain way. So the work to do, we have the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here, which is about, there is forward movement. This is like a card of like learning as you're going along, like observing, is taking your time with it so you don't miss over any details. Here it's slow and steady, but it does really win the race. It's very good to have because it's talking about your healing journey. It's not a quick fix. It's not easy to do, all right? But it is going to lead you where you want to be. And this is a very pure, very lovely, hopeful energy that's coming through for you. But the blockage is this Queen of Wands in reverse. Don't compare yourself to people, all right? Because you have your own unique beauty. And it's not just to do with your looks. It's to do with your personality. It's to do with what you can attract. You have your own unique life path even as well. So if we're comparing ourselves to other people, maybe I should just dim my light so I can just fit in somewhere. Just maybe I shouldn't have these expectations of my life because all it's brought is sadness. No, this lack of confidence is not going to get you anywhere apart from misery, which seems to be what we have been dealing with. For some of you, you may have had a lot of like betrayal in the past, because we do have Seven of Swords, Three of Cups here as I'm speaking about it. This may have, belittled, this person may have belittled you, or you may have just had a lot of influence like that, where you've just always been like pushed to the back or second choice or whatever it is, or people have just not seen your worth. Again, that's not just because someone doesn't see your worth, Sagittarius, doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means the motherfucker's blind. But if you see your worth, then the world sees your worth too. And it's going to give you what you're worth. Okay? And that's also in terms of career. We have the Five of Wands, so it is kind of quieting the mind here. The Five of Wands comes through as like it's a competitive energy. So some of you could be in a competitive industry. There's a lot of people, wanting what you have or wanting what you want at the same time. Or this could be, again, internal conflicts going back and forth, fighting each other here. This is normal. But the Five of Wands is like, we don't need to give this as much significance as it is calling for. Negative ways of thinking, negative emotions coming through, or again, other people. It could be conflict with other people. We don't need to engage in this. If other people don't see what if your point, or if other people don't agree with you, you don't need to convince anybody. And that is another thing about your self-worth. It's about really understanding that as an Empress, regardless of gender, you don't need to convince anybody anything about who you are. If they don't see it, they don't see it. Don't devalue yourself and drop yourself lower to other people's level to tell them just how high you are. It's like doesn't need to happen. And you don't need to. I feel like you shouldn't have to convince yourself either. It's just a matter of being and quieting the noise that seems to come through here that's trying to convince you otherwise. Okay. All right. Any advice, please, for Sagittarius for this week? We have the Ace of Pentacles, so a new beginning coming through. Could be changing your career here. Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. Okay, we might be needing to fix our relationship with money. By the way, Seven of Swords could be like self-sabotaging in some ways. Maybe you're dipping into the savings pot and dipping into some things that you shouldn't be. Seven of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. I feel like you're starting something new in terms of the foundation of your life. You're no longer stepping into that Seven of Swords. You're no longer engaging in it. In fact, I feel like you're really going to be very in an action-taking energy, which is lovely to see. Even as this empowered Empress, like you're using this power, you're using this newfound, like, it's still like, it doesn't just feel like survival, but it's like This is interesting, and you don't need to listen to this, but it's the kind of energy I'm feeling is like you need to step into this role as if your life depended on it. Meaning, it doesn't have to be that it depends on it, but like you gotta fight the fight for yourself. Like that's really what this reading feels like. Like you have to do this for yourself. You got to do this for you. And even if people don't like it, even if people are against it, even if people are arguing with you about it, you don't need to engage in it. You're doing this for you. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for your survival. I didn't want to say survival because I want to see you coming away from that. But I kind of feel like you're in a battle with yourself or with your negative thinking or with your past to be able to create a future for yourself. That's what you want. 9 of Wands is a defensive energy. It's wounded, as you can see. It's a wounded warrior, very strong Sagittarius. What seems to be an energy that's coming through is this like tackling the obstacles. You're tackling the challenges that are coming away because you understand that you've been through enough. Like this is where it's coming from. Is like I'm seeing this fire coming through it, and this is good to challenge. To transfer and change this anger energy into motivation. Like I have been through instead of like, oh, I've been through so much, like it's sad, into like I've been through too much to let this happen again. And of course we can never be too sure, but the 7 of Wands here is like, despite the odds and despite the challenges that may arise, you are going to be very successful. And I'm kind of seeing like a push, like a sudden push. You'll find yourself multitasking. You'll find yourself really dealing with a few things. You could be balancing 2 jobs. You could be just multitasking. You could be having a lot going on. You could be very productive at this time, dealing with your emotions as well at the same time. Like these are doing all the right things. You're like pushing yourself to do something that you really want to do. And that could be in terms of a job. All right. Instead of allowing something to crush you, I think it's crushed you to a point where you're just like, fuck this. Like, I'm sorry for swearing in your reading, but like, it feels like it's coming from that aggression. Like, it's an aggression to like, no, like, I'm not allowing life to get to me. Like, this is very like deep. I'm not allowing this to get to me. Because I feel like life has felt like it has been crushing you a bit. Especially with the 8 of Swords. But when we take the blindfold off, it has felt crushing. Absolutely, that's a feeling. But when we look around, okay, there's a solution around us. I'm going to go down this way. So we're removing any betrayal that we have with ourselves and the way that we've treated ourselves, the way that we've spoken to ourselves, the way that we have allowed things to happen. Not always allowed everything, so take that with a grain of salt. Don't attack me for it. But the things that we were in control of, we're taking accountability for, okay, that wasn't the best decision to make. And actually, I wasn't choosing my own self in those moments. That's completely fine. Ace of Pentacles, I see a new beginning coming from you where you're removing 7 of Swords. You'll be very, very aware of other people at this time. You'll be very, like, you'll be able to see people in their ways. All right, the truth will be, like, known to you about certain people. It's going to be very obvious. So you're going to remove yourself from people who you need to, which is good. But also you're going to be very clear about your own ways of thinking and own ways of doing things that may be more of a betrayal to yourself. So you're changing things up. Again, the universe is guiding you at this time. A leg up is like allowing other people to help, allowing yourself to receive help from people. And that is that Divine Empress energy. Of course, you can do things by yourself. But if someone's asking you if you want help in something, accept it. Why not? Because of this energy of ego, like I have to do it by myself. If I don't do it by myself, I can't trust anyone. I understand that. Don't trust people who are showing you signs not to trust them. And if you have a weird feeling inside, again, you have a higher power and deep knowing coming through. So your intuition is on point. It's starting to cut out again, but I hope you guys can still hear me. I'm finishing up anyway, so I don't want to end this really amazing reading, but your intuition is on point. So you're going to know. And you'll be able to see. And the Divine Feminine is very intuitive. So you'll be able to see. So it's just taking that leap of faith, trusting in yourself and the universe a little bit more, being loyal to what you want. It's going to be okay. Just one quick card before this really like malfunctions. Elephant Spirit. Like we said in the beginning, learn from the past. Learn from it. Do not indulge in it. Do not dwell in it, okay? Indulge. Not indulge. Don't indulge. Don't dwell. Learn. There you go. All right? Elephants can be very important to you. They've got thick skin. All right? So do you. You've been through a lot. But that is where your strength is. And I know it's hard to like see it that way because you're just tired. I get it. I really do get it. I understand. But this is saying everything's going to be okay. All right? Well, I love you guys. I'm sorry about the glitching. I will love you and leave you. I'll see you guys next time. Okay, make sure you like, subscribe. Personal readings are linked down below. There's new services available. A new website is also, I've changed it all, so that's all on there. But I love you guys. Wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys next time.